everybody, my name's Alex. I'm on the team here at Hennessey, and this is my 2017 C7 Corvette Grand Sport Collector's Edition. About a year ago, I set off on an adventure to find the perfect Swiss Army knife of a vehicle that works for weekend fun with my wife, with the roof off, going to dinner, having some fun, but then also for a weekend track vehicle. I've been super blessed and fortunate in my career to have driven and have a lot of seat time in a wide range of vehicles. Everything from supercharged Miatas or 2,000 horsepower hypercars. And I've even had the blessing of owning some really cool cars too. I've had 3 Mark IV Supras, which have been really cool and fun. Still actually own the 3rd Mark IV Supra. It's deep jewel green. About 1,250 wheel horsepower, so it's a crazy monster. Stay tuned for more details on that one. I've had a 4-cylinder turbo Subaru WRX STI. I've had a supercharged V8 CTSV wagon. And then my most recent car that I've owned right here is the Corvette Grand Sport. It's completely stock, which is very unlike me. I like modifying stuff. So I'm kind of a weird car guy when it comes to my pursuit of cars. I really love the chase. The chase of the deal, the buying part, and even the selling part. You could argue that maybe my least favorite part is actually owning the car. I really particularly love the chase of finding this car because I was talking to John Hennessey. He's our retired chief engineer. He engineered the Venom F5. He was the chief engineer for the Corvette program for many years. And he had a C7 Grand Sport as well that he used to track a lot. And I was asking him, hey, I really want to get more into track events and driving on racetracks. What car should I buy that kind of does it all for a reasonable price, that isn't Porsche money to maintain and repair on the track? My wife couldn't hate it, so I couldn't get a full-on race car with a roll cage. It had to be manual. I really wanted front engine rear drive just to learn that discipline of driving on the racetrack. And then having a Targa top was definitely a plus. Some other options that I was looking at were Gen 5 Vipers, Gen 4 Vipers, Mustang GT500, some kind of cars like that. A huge part of the C7 that I really enjoy is the cost of ownership and cost of maintenance. If you track a Porsche GT3, GT3 RS, that engine to go get replaced at the dealer, if you blow it up on the track, that's like 60, 70 grand. And that's just not the game I want to play. If I blow this engine up on the track, the LT1 6.2 liter V8, I can go to the dealer and basically get a replacement engine for 7 grand and I can have it installed in a couple days. 7 grand is still a lot of money, but it's much better than the Porsche level of parts and replacements. So that's a huge reason on why I landed on the GM world and the C7 Corvette in general. I had planned and booked a track weekend at COTA before I even owned this car. I had looked at this car months before and just didn't really bite on it, and finally got convinced that this was the car that I wanted to get. Actually, Alec Wyman on our team really started pushing this car because of how crazy the specs are. Ended up getting it a few weeks before the track event, got it all prepped, got new tires and everything, and it was a beautiful experience. Completely turnkey. All I did was the GM track prep guide, which was very simple, and showed up to COTA, ran 8 or 9 20-minute sessions, honestly beat up on the car, and it just handled it like a champ all day long. I believe that I have the C7 Grand Sport world record for Circuit of the Americas, especially on street tires. I have yet to find a video or any proof of anyone going faster than a 2 minute 25 seconds in a stock C7 Grand Sport with street tires on it. So if you have any claims for anything faster than a 225 at COTA, let me know. I'd be dying to know. If you actually want to see my video from that first track weekend, you can see it right below. So if you want to geek out on the particular specs, you vet guys have your ears perked right now. So you see the blue stripes on here, and you can see the blue interior a little bit. That's part of the collector's edition. So the base color is Watkins Glen Gray. Very cool color. It's pretty flaky if you can see close up. And then the blue stripes and blue interior is kind of a nod to the 1963 original Grand Sport. This is a 3LT car, so that's the highest trim package that you can get. It's got the Z07 package, which is the more track-focused package. So you get suspension changes, software changes, and you get the carbon brakes, the PDR, performance data recorder, competition seats, which I knew I wanted, which is really hard to find, and then it has the manual 7-speed transmission, all combined with the collector's edition from 2017. So it's a serial numbered car, which is pretty cool. And it has the Stage 2 aero in carbon, which is rare to find as well. Probably one of 20 or less in terms of this combination of options. So that's a pretty cool thing, and it's very hard to find. It also helps with the value too, you know. I'm a pretty value-based investor with cars. So what I mean by that is I typically won't keep cars forever. And I'll typically cycle in and out of cars on a regular basis. So when I buy a car, I don't like buying new cars. I don't like buying cars that I know are gonna take massive depreciation hits. I like buying cars that hold their value well. I think my heart definitely wants a ZR1. C7 ZR1 is one of the coolest cars ever, especially in a manual. It's a 1-year only car with the ZTK pack. It's like mega fast on the track, 755 horsepower. You get the gist, but that's an expensive car and the prices of those have really shot up. So number one, buying a car like that is expensive, but also tracking it is expensive and a lot more risk than I would be willing to take. The Z06 is also very cool and more horsepower, but you have to do a lot more modifications to really make it track worthy and track abuse ready, because the cooling needs modifications because of the supercharger. The Grand Sport really is a great value. I'm not saying it's cheap, but for what you pay, it is a great value to be able to run this thing on the track, turnkey as is, without any modifications. Put some tires and brakes and brake fluid and an alignment on it, and you're good to go. There's so many cool tracks in America that I'd want to go to. I'd probably want to drive Laguna Seca, Road America, VIR, and then outside the US, maybe the Nürburgring and Spa. What's next with this car? It'd be awesome to keep going to COTA and keep getting better and practicing. I'd also like to take it to different tracks. What's also next is I really want to get into actual racing. Racing is a completely different category of money and budget, but it's definitely a dream of mine to do some sort of wheel-to-wheel racing in my life. So definitely working towards that from a financial standpoint. I've been a car guy since the moment I could remember any conscious thoughts. I remember being in the car, going to school or doing whatever, and I would be naming all the cars out the window. I think the urge of racing probably comes from just childhood dreams of playing Forza Motorsports or something, or Fast and the Furious. It was pretty unrealistic for a long time, but after talking with John Hennessey and knowing a little bit more about SCCA racing or Champ Car racing or Lemons racing, stuff like that, that there's actually some reasonably attainable racing dreams that could be had. And that's really what's shoved me down the road of like, okay, how can I actually make this happen? I could definitely still achieve some level of racing success and achievement. John Hennessey actually didn't start racing till he was in his late 30s or 40s, so I think I'm good there. I still got some time to figure that out. The C8 platform as a whole is a really awesome platform. I've done 2 C8 driving schools and spent a lot of laps in C8 Corvettes, the base models. They're amazing on the track. The Z06 is even better. I did some sessions in John's Z06 at COTA. I think the ZR1 is really going to turn it up to the next level. Where the ZR1 has always been is American supercar performance for high-end sports car price. So you look back at the 09 C6 ZR1, it was supercar level performance for that time period, but you got it for sports car price. And that's kind of where I think the new ZR1 is going to be with the C8. Purchasing fun cars is definitely a wide spectrum of conversation. If you're young and you're trying to figure out your way financially, cars can be good investments, but they can also not be good investments. So I would say, number one, don't be impulsive. Be patient, figure out what you really want, figure out the right value points. You know, if you want to consider it as an investment, don't buy anything new. Don't go buy the new M3 and then lose 40 grand in 3 years. Find stuff at floor value, floor price, that has already had big depreciation hits and might even be coming on the upswing of the value curve. because of its collectability, rarity, desirability, stuff like that. I have a lot of cars on my dream list that I'd like to own. I really want a Gen 5 Viper ACR. One stock would be awesome for the track, but also a twin turbo one with a sequential with like 1500 horsepower. A 997 Porsche 911 Turbo would be a very cool car to own, especially modified with about 1000 horsepower. A 997 Porsche 911 GT3 would be an amazing car to own. It'd be really cool to own a twin turbo Huracan with a bunch of horsepower. And I really would like a V12 Aston Martin of some kind. If you like slowed down content like this, talking about cool cars, let us know in the comments and we'll just make some more content like this for you guys. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video. Hit the like and subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.